There are a million reasons why you can make excuses and not show up at work. But as the CEO of a successful real estate company, I'm here to tell you that you have to show up and lock it down at work. This is something I've learned, especially as a new parent. I have breastfed through board meetings under the table and no one knew anything about it. I had to show up to a conference and host a huge party in Nashville where I was 2 weeks late on my pregnancy, and I had this whole party planned, and I had to show up 10 days after having a baby and give a speech in front of a bunch of people. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm like still very inept. I can barely walk, but I'm getting up on a stage and pulling it together at least for 10 minutes and showing up and being the CEO. If you want to be a leader, people are looking to you for inspiration. And even just in the last couple of years when the capital markets changed, my entire business model changed. What we had done very well for 6, 7, 8 years stopped working. My employees were looking to me for answers. What are we going to do now? How are we going to make money? How is my salary getting paid? And at first I did not have those answers, but I had to keep my game face on and keep it together because people are looking to me for security and leadership and strength. And if you're not able to pull it together and put your face on, then you're going to lose your credibility and actually lose your own confidence. And it's really easy to sort of get eaten up by these other insecurities. But it's up to you to really pull up your bootstraps and pull it together enough to perform in the key high stakes situations. There's definitely a reality to the struggles that everyone faces. I'm just saying that as a leader, I don't always have the option of just going effect to those situations, and it's up to me to turn them around. I'm not saying to be a stoic 100% of the time or that you can't express your feelings. I'm saying when it matters, you have to show up professionally and pull it together. My mom's like a beautiful 1950s housewife. Her version of it was like, put your lipstick on, put your chin up, like, get out the door ready. That's like kind of how I was raised. And I think that sort of mentality gave me a toughness that I witnessed in her that was really inspiring. So if you want to show up and you want to win, this is my advice. So represent your role, whatever that is, in a very professional manner. That means not airing your dirty laundry. And I'm not talking about to your close confidant or your best friend, but in a professional setting, it's none of their business what happened to you last night or what you personally have going on. And frankly, they want a solution. People don't necessarily need to or want to hear that. And it does, no matter what, affect their viewpoint of how professional you are and able to handle something. Emergencies happen, but if you want to let your boss know or your client know, then they want to hear about the solution and you just need to focus on handling it. They don't need the play-by-play of all of the dramatic things that happened up until then. I think as a mom, it can be a little insulting when I've seen other moms like use their kids as an excuse, make excuses for themselves or how they're showing up because of their kids, when in reality, we're the adults and we're the ones that need to plan accordingly. I think that women are very capable of being very professional, and in my situation, I have investors that have entrusted me with tens of millions of dollars. And I know that even if they didn't want to and they like me as a person, if I was telling them everything that was going on in the background of my life, that they would be worried that I would not be able to perform at my job well. And so it's just an aspect of being able to keep it together and present professionally in what you're doing. Don't use your kids as a constant excuse for being sloppy. You got to do what it takes to get it done. 10 days after I gave birth to my daughter, I had to go to New York for a big conference. I did not know I would be 12 days late, but that was when the conference was. So I was going to show up. I completely underestimated what was happening to my body and how tired and fatigued and all of the hormonal changes that were happening to me. And I should have never left my house for 3 months, but I had this scheduled and it was already really important and I already invested a lot of money in it. So I showed up and I had to really pick and choose the things. Maybe I didn't go to the entire conference. I had to pick and choose the things that were important. But when I was there, I had my game face on. No one would have known that I was like hemorrhaging and exhausted. When I got there, I made sure to be at a hotel that was next to it. I was going back and forth every other couple hours to pump and rest and take care of myself for a little bit, going back to the conference, going back and forth, and really just balancing taking care of myself. I did not get into the details of why I couldn't walk very far or why I was so tired. And I just had to pull it together just for a couple of days. And then I rested when I got home. I got through it, and I'm happy I did. And I think it's just what has made me successful is sort of persevering through tough things and pushing through. And when you do have the opportunity, it is your responsibility to take care of yourself. I am not saying that you need to, be self-denial and put all of your priorities down. During key moments, you have to show up. On the other times, it's really important that you're taking care of yourself and making sure that you're preparing for those great times when you need to show up. My day is very forward facing and very high energy. A lot of times I'm doing very high level things. So when I'm not, it's sort of the opposite. And so that dichotomy works really well for me to have balance. When I'm with my children, I'm with them. I'm not on my phone. I'm not watching TV. I'm not doing things that aren't actually adding to me feeling better. So if you want to be a true professional, you have to do the steps that will prepare you for that professionalism. It's just like a pro athlete. You can't not train or not take care of yourself or not eat well or take supplements or do the things that make you able to perform, because if you want to be a leader, there's going to be really high stakes performance times, and you need to be prepared for that. So make sure that you are sleeping and staying well rested, that you have a very well balanced diet and you're getting quality food, not eating out all the time or eating fast food. I think TV is another really big suck to where you can be consuming other types of information that are more helpful to what you're doing. Exercising, moving your body is extremely important. Getting outside, taking walks, looking outdoors, not being completely glued to screens. Those are all really important things that I make sure to prioritize and that, have given me a good sense of balance so I can high perform. I promise I'm not some crazy workaholic. I just want to see you succeed. So if you want to find out more, watch this next video.